Hi, my name is Isabella and I'm a student at the University of Virginia. I went to high school in Marin County, and by the end of my freshman year, I was overloaded with activities. I was rowing varsity crew, doing varsity debate, engaged in independent science research, and exploring my own entrepreneurial ventures. That same summer, I decided to take a course at Stanford in decision analysis. By the time I returned to school in the fall, I wanted to apply decision analysis to my life and decide which activity I was going to stop doing. Something had to give, and I couldn't do everything. Deciding what to quit was a really difficult and stressful decision. First, it would have a really large impact on my college outcomes, which was something I cared about a lot. Also, between my parents and my teammates, my closest communities were putting pressure on me to make the decisions that they wanted me to make. I had to listen to myself and cut through the noise. I used decision analysis to do that. My frame was, what decision will allow me to do what I love and continue to pursue it deeply? My values were my relationships, friendships, health, and college prospects. For crew, I loved the sport because it taught me a type of dedication and teamwork that I hadn't seen before. I loved my science because it allowed me to explore questions independently and do my own hands-on research. I loved my entrepreneurial ventures because I was able to create social impact through business, which is a lifelong interest of mine. And debate, of course, taught me how to argue and think for myself, something that's important throughout my entire life. Crew takes up a lot of time. The practices are 2.5 hours every day, and you have to go to tournaments nearly every weekend. You become close very quickly with your teammates. But when people quit crew or leave the team, it's not uncommon for them to lose a lot of their closest friends in the process as well. So I put relationships and my friendships at the center of my decision making. I needed more information to make my decision. I needed to determine whether or not crew was a passion I could pursue deeply for a long time. I decided to talk to my rowing coach, who let me know that I was probably too short to row for any D1 school that I wanted. I also talked to her about whether or not I could come back and row recreationally over the weekends if I quit. She said yes, but most importantly, I needed to look at the cold, hard numbers. Time. How was I spending my time and what was taking up the most of it? When I looked at this information, the breakdown was pretty clear. Crew took up nearly 40% of my time, and when I calculated my average day with crew, I often ran a 2 or 3 hour deficit daily. But without crew, I had enough time to pursue science, debate, and entrepreneurship while still maintaining friendships, sleep, and my academic rigor in school. I then wanted to look at my alternatives. Was quitting crew really the only way to free up that large chunk of time? I considered quitting crew for a semester, focusing on my scientific research and then returning. I also considered not pursuing my scientific research or my entrepreneurial ventures. I decided that these alternatives weren't for me because they ultimately didn't align with my frame or values. I spoke with my parents, who were highly supportive of me continuing crew and didn't want me to stop. But when I showed them my time breakdown and explained to them why this decision was the right one for me, they understood. I also decided to talk to my crew team during one of our team meetings. When I explained that I wasn't as tall as the rest of them and probably didn't have as bright of a future in crew, but had a lot of other interests, they understood. They understood that we could continue to be friends and keep rowing together on the weekends because I had come up with creative alternatives and sought out all of the information that was necessary. I was able to follow through on my decision because I knew that my parents and teammates wouldn't be mad if I quit crew because I had explained to them why I was making the decision. I did quit crew at the end of the first semester in my sophomore year, clearing up time for entrepreneurship, debate, and science. The outcome was great. I ended up placing in the state science fair, launching a social impact incubator, and going to nationals for debate. Today, I'm still friends with these teammates, and my parents have gotten over the fact that I quit Crew. The decision to quit Crew opened up a lot of doors for me in high school, and I wouldn't have had the courage or language to do it if it weren't for decision analysis.